Hello traders, welcome back to another YouTube video. So you guys are familiar with all the series that we've been doing. We've been doing a weekly outlook video, and we've been doing some really nice concept videos where I teach you a few things about the model that I actually trade. But there's something that we were doing earlier on in this at the start of the year, that was trade breakdowns for all the trades that we actually take and the ones that I actually execute. So that was one video that did not really catch on very well, so I stopped doing it. But recently, traders have been requesting me to do progress videos for some of the trades that I take. Okay, so we usually do weekly outlook videos, but after the weekly outlook video, then what? Okay, so that is some of the questions that traders have been asking. Do you really execute some of the trades that you tell us that you called out? Okay, so the trade breakdown videos will actually come back as a continuation of that series, but they also asked for prop series. So this was actually from me. I wanted to do a prop series for you guys. Buy a few accounts. So I have other accounts that I have, which some are funded, some are in challenge phase, but I've started working on them. And then traders wanted to see me do one that I buy and trade, and then give progress as I go all the way to payout. Okay, so this is one account that I got. So this was a 25K good funded account. Okay, and this is one that I'm also doing with the students in the mentorship, the ones that have actually learned. This is something that we're doing as a final. We trade together, uh, proof of concept, then get them to pay out, but I do it alongside them. And immediately I got this account. I was given this account by GFT. I didn't actually pay for it. It's actually a pay later. So I thought it was really nice because the target was a bit lower, 100 and only 4%. Okay. So I'm actually supposed to pay for it, but I haven't paid for it for a reason. Okay. So you can see I passed it, and this is actually the certificate that you are actually given for the 100K, which was really nice. And the reason that I have not paid for this, I'll actually show you. If you can look at the trade overview, we have a win rate of 80%, okay, which is actually really, really nice. We had 4 wins and 1 loss, okay. Actually, the losses were, we only had 1 loss, which was this. And then we've had really nice wins. We have a 6.22 profit factor. We have a consistency of 86%. So our average win was 1.5. Average loss was $1,000. Okay, which is actually, I have tried to keep it very consistent with all my other profiles. Okay, so I don't focus on too many trades. I focus on very quality trades. Okay, so the first trade I took on this account was actually a loss. Okay, and then we had another win of $714, another one of 2,000. That is one. It was actually 2,000, I think, minus commissions 1988. We had one of $852, and then a final one of 2,740, which was actually my largest win. I think I was taken out on this trade for 1-to-1. Okay, so I had actually moved my trade for to 1-to-1 because it looked a bit risky, and you can see it was actually a sell. So the market eventually moved higher. So these are all the stats on the account. It was a really clean, or rather good trading week for this account. Okay, so the reason I have not paid for this account, and I want to actually show you some of the rules. Okay, so this is their pay later model. So the profit target is 4%. Okay, which is really interesting. There's no obviously target on funded. The daily drawdown, there's no daily drawdown. Okay, but they have an 8% trailing, which means if you actually hit a new equity high, your trailing actually moves higher. Okay, so your daily drawdown, your max drawdown actually moves higher, which means if you actually go into drawdown later, then that means you actually risk uh, getting taken out. So if you actually hold this trade to 8%, the new equity high gets locked as you're trailing. So it means if the trade actually comes back to your entry, you actually breach the account. Okay, so that is what it means. So if you hit 8% and the trade actually retraces back and you take profit at 4%, the new equity high that you actually hit gets locked. Okay, so which means if you had 8% starting, you only have 4% as your max total drawdown, which is not a very good rule. And you can see it, which if you're trading futures like me, it doesn't really matter because the drawdowns are always trailing, but end of day, this is actually intraday. So if you go to funded, it actually becomes 6%, which is really tight. All right. Also, the daily drawdown on funded is 3%. Okay, which doesn't really matter as much. We have minimum trading days. There's none on evaluations, but there's 3 days per payout. And I also think on these 3 days, there's actually a minimum profit that you need to hit. Max loss per trade is 2%, which is still fine. Now, this is where they actually got me. All these are rules I can actually maneuver if you just trade small sizes. But where they actually got me was the 20%. Okay, so the 20% consistency rule is where they actually got me. And here is what it means. Okay, it means that your single biggest trading day cannot be more than 20% of your profits. All right. Now, let me open the calculator so that I can show you real quick. This is what it means. Okay. So if your single biggest day is $1,000, okay, this cannot be, if this is your biggest day, it means your total profit should, this $1,000 should not be more than 20%. Okay. So if you need to be consistent with this, it means you actually need to make the total profit on your account is supposed to be 5,000. So it means if on day one you hit if you hit $1,000, okay, for you to qualify for payout, your total profit for that single biggest day needs to be 5,000. Okay, so if by chance you're trying to hit 5,000 so that you can be below the 20% consistency, and then by chance, just say by chance, okay, by what something just happens and you end up hitting 1,500 on TP, then that means your new consistency is supposed to be 7,500. Okay, your total profit is supposed to be 7,500, so that the single biggest day can be below 20% or below on the consistency. So this means that you always need to be chasing profit targets, which is actually not really good. So the lower the consistency, the worse it is for you as a trader. So this is what actually turned me off. Okay. Every other thing doesn't really matter. The cost is 598. It's not really high considering some of the challenges like Funded Next. You actually get them for like $545. It doesn't really matter. This is refundable, but I think on the fifth payout. So it means if you're also not a very consistently profitable trader, this means you also won't get this back. But with only one payout, you should actually get this feedback. So it's not really a huge problem. If you go to funded, there's no, there are not more rules that I don't think you can actually maneuver. It's the consistency for me. Uh, that was actually the worst part about this challenge. So that's why I'm still thinking about whether or not I'll actually pay for this, whether it's a good deal. Now, onto the other account that I'm actually trading. This is the 25K. Okay. So you can see my win rate on this is a bit small just because I have taken 3 trades. Okay. So first 2 trades, 1% on each. Okay. And then that was on 21st and 23rd of April, and then 1st of May. So I am really patient with this account. Okay, so at the moment I am 1% up. So profit factor 1.44, but I'm sure by the time I'm done with it, definitely the win rate will be a bit higher. I just need 2 good setups to pass this account come next week. Okay. So if you also need me to break down some of these trades that I'm actually taking, just let me know and we'll resume on the trade breakdown series, so that we'll be having 3 trades a week. One is for prop farm series update, the other one is a weekly outlook, and the other one is a trade breakdown. Okay. So I also have a few accounts on futures. So I'll just take you through. So I have two of these accounts. These are both 50K accounts, but I've only been able to execute on one. Okay, so I'll show you the progress. So far, we've been able to make 895, and on futures, the targets are usually a bit lower. So I'm supposed to make 6% on this. So far, this is almost 1%, not quite there yet. Okay. So I only took 2 trades on this. Actually, I took one trade. Okay. And the profit was 895. I was risking 300 and I was supposed to make 900. So I think minus commissions, that is 895 USD. No loss on this one so far. Okay. So my win rate on this is still 100%. And I think I should be done with this account. This is a futures account. I should be done with this in a week, I think. Okay. So when I'm done with this, I'll be able to take you through the whole process on if you want to trade futures, especially if you're a Kenyan, what prop firms actually allow Kenyans and all the rules. So I'll do another video where I break down all the rules. This futures trading looks easy because the targets are lower, but the rules are actually more than on CFDs. It may be a one-phase challenge, but before you can even get a payout, it's usually a whole different story, especially with building buffers and consistency rules and all these things, including activation fees and monthly charges. So CFDs is definitely easier for beginners who want to take their time. Features, on the other hand, are for people who don't want the two-phase challenges and also consistent. Okay, so there's 2 things, there's 2 sides to both. And if you want me to make a video on this, I will. And with that, I believe we are done. I'll continue giving you more updates, especially on these 2 features accounts and on these 2 accounts, on whether I decide to pay this or not, and my progress on this. This one will actually do it all the way to payout. So if you want updates on my other accounts as well, the ones that I'm actually trading, or if you want payout updates, or if you want me to do a process on how to withdraw payouts, please let me know and I'll be sure to get right into it. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Please don't hesitate to leave me a like if you like this video. You can also comment letting me know what you want. And above all, or rather most important of all, please subscribe so that you don't miss on any of these videos. Bye.